my pregame, I guess you say, postgame, I would say between the Colts and the Vikings, because holy crap, that was one of the most embarrassing losses that I've ever seen in my many years as a football fan. I mean, let's be quite honest. Like this team, this Colts team is just fucking. It's a joke. In terms of basically, I would say, or just how they want to run things. And then Jim, like, and there's a lot of things that can go around. Matt Ryan, it has not been the same in quite some time. The dude is washed, overrated. That entire yeah, Urku, tell me about like, I don't know where to start with that. The fact that now I will say to the Vikings credit, they did get screwed on that fumble. Should have been a touchdown. That should have been probably end of the game right then and there. Um, yeah, Danny, yeah, that's what we all thought, right? No, but no, so Viking, yeah, the Vikings said no. We had no, said not. They said basically hold my beer. It's just like I mean, like there's a lot of things to go around. So the Vikings credit, yes, I kind of get. I mean, first of all, that fumble call said, "Oh, these won't, but not contact." Bullshit. The ball was out, and the fact that they just get screwed at, and unfortunately, number 39 decides to get flagged for unsportsmanlike. So that kind of put a damper on things. But like I said, Matt Ryan has not been the same. And let's be real, in the last quite some time, Jim Irsay, let's be real. I think he's probably the most horrible, well, outside the McCaskies, but that's another story for another day. The dude is just completely oblivious. The dude just doesn't know how to run a franchise. Um, but like that, an ongoing QB carousel. You had talent like Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman Jr. Let's be real, you should not deserve talent like that. Number three, they should have at this point clean house because Jack Saturday for me ain't it. Dansby did go to the Cubs, yes, absolutely. I did put a short out on that Dansby did go to the Cubs, but what in the absolute hell was that? Like I'm thinking to myself, like let's see, we put up 33 in the first half. I'm thinking to myself, okay, could the Colts do it? But then again, when you have Matt Ryan as a quarterback, history is going to tend to repeat itself. And look what happens. And people say, oh, I mean, the worst choke is 23. 23. This overtakes that 28-3 choke in the Super Bowl. Now, granted, yes, the Super Bowl is one of the bigger events to choke in, but I mean, this still like there's no reason for you to completely just shit the bed and just basically say, oh, and just I I mean, yeah, Arku, I agree. I really do. I really do agree with that. And Colts fans deserve a lot better than what they're getting. And to be quite honest, you know, this is what happens when you ruin a guy like Andrew Luck. This is what happens. Now, granted, I mean, let's be real. I mean, if I'm Taylor and Pittman's, hey, yeah, tell me about it, random. Yeah, I mean, well, that depends if the Colts ever want. Well, the Colts are going to have to go after a quarter, at least draft a quarterback. That's the way that I see it. And but knowing that Chris Ballard and he does not have a good track record of yeah, and see that's the thing too. Like the only one that I feel like should have well, what I would thought was could have been the next successor to Payne was I would say was Andrew Luck. Even though after the Colts had just really have not had good luck with quarterbacks. And I mean, as an Eagles fan, and just a general football fan, oh my lord, like I do not. I would say Kirk Cousins is underrated, but he's just there. That's just at this point. I mean, the Kirk Cousins is mid. He's just an average quarterback. Now, granted, I mean the Vikings did get lucky on a few things, but even the Vikings didn't play good football either. So like Justin Jefferson, I mean, had a decent game, but not the typical game you would expect for a guy. Um, but yeah, it's just I mean, like that's the thing I'm gonna have to talk about more on my afternoon show because I'm gonna actually talk this more on my afternoon show on Monday because good lord, like there's a lot of thing. It's going to be very honestly very interesting, but there's got to be stuff that needs to be done. Ursay for one needs to sell the team and definitely and whoever the new owner is has to clean house because a talent like Pittman Jr. or a talent like Jonathan Taylor, no team deserves that. And this is why the Colts a lot of time, most times than not, are are going to get laughed at, and for good reason. The Colts are such a poverty franchise. It's really kind of well, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's embarrassing, and to be quite honest, you know, I don't know, but before we go into it, if you guys are new, welcome everybody. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Kind of, kind of give my little quick thoughts, a little bit of a live stream here while I'm just chilling at work. But oh, really, a 33-point lead to a team like the Vikings, who I still don't think they're. At some point, they really should look at their beginning of. I mean, Jeff started ain't in it for them. Not just Jeff started, but the entire coaching staff has not really done nothing to really see this team succeed. But then again, this is a team that's kind of quote unquote tanking along with the Houston Texans, which is. But I mean, quite frankly, just like Gus. I mean, I can see what, and I know Raiders fans have a lot of issues with Gus Bradley and all that shit. I mean, and I will give the Colts a lot of credit though, where I think where they did play pretty well is on the defensive end of the football. It's just they played really some really good defense. Unfortunately, it was just not enough to lock down and just knock off the Vikings. Now Vikings are now 11-3. And I think this a lot of times too. And like for me, I still don't think the Vikings are special. I'm going to put this on record right now. And the reason why I say that is like their secondary, and you look at the defense, their defense absolutely sucked. But then, like I said, when the second half came along, they finally started to wake up. It's like you couldn't fucking do this in the first half. And like I said, I think this Vikings team is a bunch of frauds. I really do believe that. I mean, well, I think Justin Jefferson's had a really good season. Dalvin Cook has been good but inconsistent. There is no way. I know there's going to be there, but I will say this too. I think there's going to be some Colts fans will make that argument, but the logical argument you could probably make was Andrew Luck. But the problem that I have with the Colts, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only time where they ever didn't have luck is against the Cowboys. Like every time when they play against a good team, they completely shit the bed. I mean, look, like I said, going back to the Cowboys game when they got stomped out 40-3, and people say, "Oh, it's just the one good team," but yeah, you play like a shit team like the Colts. And this is the thing. No one says a fucking thing about the Vikings, but no. But when it comes to us, yes, we barely scraped by. But a win's a win. Now, obviously, today is Saturday, and which is kind of unusual that NFL games are playing on Saturdays. Which pretty very. It's not saying very interesting, but it's just weird to say the least. But hey, it is what it is. But I mean, Christian Darrisaw had. I mean, the dude's just constantly getting hurt left and right. At some point, I mean, look, I know he's still a young guy, but I mean, yeah. Sorry about that. I had to talk to a few people talking about that. So let me. Yeah, true. Yeah, actually, going back to Random Anton to go back to your comment though. Yeah, there's two more games going on. You had the Browns and the Ravens later today, or right starting right now. You also have the yeah, I meant the Dolphins and the Bills. And be quite frankly, but it's just. Like how? Like how does that happen? Like how bad do you have to be to choke a 30-point lead? Now, I mean, look, choking 28-3, that's one thing. Well, obviously, I'm probably on the biggest stage of the year. But the fact of the matter is, you choke a 33-point lead, and this is a lot of times why the NFL, not just the Eagles, not just the Cowboys, not just the Lions, laughing at you. Like it's sad. It's sad to say for a team that could have had much more than one title. I would say. I mean, look, and I'll get the like I said, the Colts. I'm not going to try to hate the Colts. I mean, look, the Colts had some. They got some Hall of Famers. Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning. The list can go on and on. But this, the last couple of the last 4 or 5 years of the Colts has been inconsistent, to say the least. I mean, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Just blow the damn team up. It's getting really to the point where it's just like you're going to waste the talent of Jonathan Taylor. You're definitely going to waste it on. You're wasting the talent of Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, let's be real. Gus Bradley. Well, I think Gus Bradley is the only one you can make the argument can stay. But I think with a new coach and a new ownership, that could be he could say like it's like one of those things. It's like do you want to keep? Because I think Gus probably has really done a really decent job in terms of for the defense, even though the defense at times has been inconsistent. But I would think there's an argument to be made to go find another defensive coordinator, which I do think there is an argument to that. But Irsay, man, I think Jim Irsay is just completely oblivious to pretty much know how to run a franchise. And and it's funny. And going to the Viking side of things, the Vikings, they didn't play their best football either. They didn't shoot like this both of this game. Yeah, Arku, and this is the problem that this is the one problem I'm going to run with the Colts. If they don't, yeah, it was definitely coaching, and it was just not just coaching, but the Colts kind of shot themselves sometimes in the foot, sometimes. But it's mostly on the coaching, and people say, and definitely it's on Matt Ryan's decision making at the same time because of that, and just a lot of. All right, so no, I think nobody does. I think nobody really believes in Kirk Cousins. We knew that where Kirk Cousins is at in this career, because Kirk Cousins is really. I won't say he's not great, but he's not terrible at the same time. But he's just a serviceable quarterback that some team needs. And I think if I'm the Vikings at some point, you're going to have to realize too, like Kirk Cousins ain't going to be around for much longer. You're going to have to look for a quarterback one way or the other. I mean, you have to really. I can see why. I could see why a lot of people are not having it at halftime, especially if you're a Vikings fan, especially after the first half. But now Colts fans are going to have, it's going, speaking about the first half, the fact that when the Colts put up 33 against the Vikings Twitter is funny sometimes. And what I mean by that is, I know my good buddies, the Rap from Purple Pocket podcast, and there's another guy I can't remember to think of his name, but it's strong jumping me for a second. But there was one person on Twitter. It's like want takes his fandom to the Philadelphia. Hey, I'll fucking no, we do not. We do not need bandwagons. We don't need that. And I'll give where credit is due. And the fact that it's been 5 years since, well, the last time the Vikings ever clinched the division was 2017. We don't know how that went. What up, Flame? What is good? What is good? So appreciate everybody that's coming in. We just gotta just hanging out a little bit, just kind of just shit on the Colts basically for choking them for they're a 33-point lead over against the Vikings. Now, like I said, I'll give for credit where credit is due. I think Kevin O'Connell has done a fantastic job with the offensive side. I mean, yes and no, but the 49ers I think, are one of the teams, our best teams in the NFC. I don't really see the Dallas Cowboys inconsistent, but it's just. But I mean, I think the Cowboys are doing their thing. Now, that's kind of going to talk about that a little bit. Bringing in T.Y. Hilton, is that really going to do much? Probably not, because we know that T.Y. Hilton been a while since he ever played football, which I completely forgot he was still in the league. If I'd be quite frankly about it. Well, I think CD's having a really good season. I think, well, Michael Gallup, the fact that he's finally healthy, knock on wood. I think he's an underrated receiver. Yeah, I mean that's at this point. I mean it's just the way how this his team has been for the last since what 20. So he won the MVP in 26. It's been about 4 or 5 years at this point, and it's sad. It really. I mean, that is true. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Sleeping Angels, and I agree with you, normal guy. And this game surely should indicate that Matt Ryan's got to hang it up. But then again, knowing the Colts I'm gonna bet my money that the Colts are gonna be dumb enough to not take a quarterback in this draft. But what's good, Rick John? Appreciate you coming through. Just based on the track record that they have, um, I mean, getting Jonathan Taylor, yeah, Michael Pittman Jr., honestly, the constantly never-ending quarterback carousel from Andrew Luck to Jacoby Brissett to Carson Wentz, now to Matt Ryan. I mean, look, and I forgot about Phillip Rivers. I forgot about Phillip Rivers. That, yeah, Pensman, that is true. That is true, my guy. Get you the rent. And so, yeah, like it's oh boy, I could imagine, the what Chisel Donaldson's going to have to say about this when he makes a video, and definitely Urinary Tree. Oh, good, U Tree. I would never. Yeah, I mean Arco. Yeah, that should be like the number one thing. But knowing Chris Ballard in this front office, I don't know. I still can't trust the Colts. If they somehow run it back with Matt Ryan, it's time for Ursay to sell the team. Yeah, exactly. Like Matt Ryan, this game should tell you that Matt Ryan should just hang up the spikes. But like I said, with the Colts not having the greatest track record of drafting quarterbacks outside of the great Manning, their Hall of Famer Peyton Manning, and what could have been Andrew Luck had not if they had not ruined him with a terrible offensive line, no wide receiver help. It's like I mean, like it's gonna get to the point where it's just like I could. Oh my god, random. I can see that. I can definitely see that, and it's gonna get to the point where it's just like Colts fans at some point is gonna. It's oh god, that reminds me when God, that reminds me the way that Raina Anton. That brings me back to the days of when Bobby Valentine used to pull that shit. When but like I said, oh trust, I can see him. I can see Slater. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's like I don't know, but it's man, the Colts. Yeah, Bills do play tonight. Yeah, I think nobody cares at that point. But yeah, like I said, man, the Colts blew a 33-point lead. I like this is something you can. Well, then again, knowing that you have Matt Ryan as your quarterback, you probably would expect it, but it is definitely funny though. To be quite frankly, though, I mean, like I said, I mean, like all y'all said, I mean, go after the quarterback. I don't even know if they have a first round pick, which is going to be very interesting to see. But to be quite frankly, like I said, I mean, I still will never. Well, yep. You would think. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point too. With that, Danny, I actually want to kind of like touch on that as well. They didn't give Carson a fair chance, and because of all that last game against Jacksonville. Now, granted, the Colts never play well against in Duval County, anyways. And I don't like that. Still doesn't really like uh, yeah, but I mean, it's just a lot of things. It's like yeah, Carson should have stayed at least for another year. I mean, to be honest, normal guy, I don't really. I think normally I think Angelo trying to kind of keep himself down on the down low. That I mean that's true. Yeah, and Arku, when you look at the highlights of it, yeah, you can see where I'm kind of going after that. But to be quite honest, guys, it's just I mean Colts fans. I mean I don't know what to say. I do not know what to say. To be quite frankly, it is fucking disgusting, and it's gonna be very it's good, and it's also laughable at the same time. And like I said, I don't want to be in here for much too longer. Probably like spend 10 or 20 to at least 25 minutes. No, I'll definitely. I agree with that 100%. Absolutely. But other than that, though, man, GG's to the Vikings. That's crazy out of you, Arku. But like I said, I mean, congrats to the Vikings clinching the NFC North because let's be real, know that the Lions, I'll give where credit's due. I think the Lions could really run the table and could possibly win out if they do. It's pretty much going to show that a lot of times, it's yeah, because we know the Giants are going to be hanging by a thread of the NFC for the playoffs. But other than that, um, but it's just you know I don't know. But like I said, I'll talk more of it on Monday. Absolutely, absolutely, Pensman. Make sure you hit the like, hit that subscribe button. Um, but yeah, like that's all I got for right now. Now I will say this too, though. I mean, like I said, I'll talk more, and kind of, as I look at what the playoffs are going to be, the NFL, especially the NFC, and mostly the NFC. Um, because right now the only two teams we only had two teams now potentially could be three. Are definitely have clinched the playoff spot. That's the Eagles. Definitely the Vikings and the 49ers. The I will say this too. The only way, like I said, the only way to the that that the and speaking of which, we had some more news that Aaron Donald's out for another straight game. So I do not know what is going on, but we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, I'll talk more into it and kind of break it all down. But with that being said, make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you ring that notification bell, and I am out.